with the jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on the flaring on. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Woo! Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
DQ, baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids. D-Phase. Yeah. OBC. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope your evening is going well. Hope you're not stuck in traffic. Hope you're on your way to the house and to the crib. All right, listen, we got a special guest today. You know what I'm saying? How we get down. But first, listen, the like police is never too far, okay? The like police is never too far. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe. All right, listen, if you, listen, okay. If you're here because of the earlier Tay show, that has nothing to do with today, right now. Okay, we're focused on the OBC. What I did earlier in the day, that's a different version of off script. This is the professional version of off script. So today, please listen. This lady she's probably one of the most influential women in HBCU sports right now. Killing the game. The OBC brought it back after 40 years of a hiatus. Please give it up for my special guest today, Miss Kendra Bulluck.
Hi.
How you doing, Miss Bulluck?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? How's your Monday going?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Listen,
Still soaking in the Juneteenth holiday, so enjoy the break today.
Y'all get a break? Y'all don't get no breaks. Y'all don't get no breaks.
I mean, we did a little bit, but it wasn't like a typical Monday.
Okay, so because I thought planning's all year round. You know what I'm saying? It's all year round.
It is.
Listen, I need my background like you. That's nice. What's that OBC area? But you got footballs. Oh man, I need to step my game up. But listen, I appreciate you.
What happens when you have a woman's touch in sports?
That is okay. I like that. Okay, that's respect. Like, you see what I'm working with? Cell block C, right? This is all you gonna get. When a guy doing the decoration, this is all you gonna get. Listen, and a TV. That's all I need. I'm good. But listen, we gonna keep it light and fluffy. First of all, I'm not even reading all them books. That's number one. But anyway, we gonna keep it light and fluffy. And first question is something interesting me because your assistant reached out to me. How did you hear about me? How did you hear about Off Script?
So we actually have some mutual friends, of course, and someone sent me a clip. It was a show, I think, about Jack. You were doing a show on Jackson State and their success in recruiting. And they were like, hey, I think this will be a good opportunity for you guys to advertise. And then the next thing I know, between my assistant and our PR team, they said, okay, well, can you be on the show on Monday? I was like, oh, okay, sure. Sure. What better way to promote it than to get it right from the horse's mouth, right?
Listen, from the head lady. You hear me? Now, the crazy thing was when your sister reached out to me, I was, sometimes you gotta be like, man, is this real? Like, you really? I'm like, okay, the OBC, like, this is the executive director one. I'm like, heck yeah. Like, she was like, it was a good time for you. Tomorrow, we can do this thing. And I was like, nah, let me give it some time so we can promote it and things like that. But I do appreciate you for your time. And I know you're a busy lady, but let's get it. Let's go way back. Okay. You're getting out of college, right? You're young, you no kids. Yeah, no kids. Why insurance? Because a lot of people don't like to touch that avenue. It's black people insurance. They like black people. Some people believe in don't. Why did you feel like you should get in the insurance game?
Well, I kind of stumbled on it, believe it or not, while I was in school. I worked for an agency, and I worked for the agency part-time while I was going to school, and I just kind of learned the business. And the owner at the time, he was like, hey, I'm thinking about retiring, so what are your plans? And, I had never thought about actually owning it. At the time, of course, I was, just looking at it from a management perspective. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, well, of course, I'll definitely love to manage. And he says, no, I really want to kind of, groom you into taking this over. And so from there, he gave me an opportunity as he retired, as he promised. He gave me an opportunity to purchase it. And so that started my path to entrepreneurship.
That's big time. That's big time. Listen, I worked at State Farm for a year and a half, and you are. I say it's different. It takes a different mentality for people who sell insurance, because a lot of times when you're doing something, people are looking for certain things, and you got to fit it. And I don't like being told no, so that just hurt my feelings. So sales is just not my thing. Now, my next question is: you've been a serial entrepreneur most of your adult life. How have you managed to be successful for so long? Uh-oh, is that me? Is that me? Did I freeze? Oh, she froze. Oh, Miss Bulluck, you froze. That's not me, right, guys? All right, cool. That's not me. All right, Miss Bulluck, I'm going to sign you out. You got to come back in. All right. But that's not me, right? That's not me, right? I just want to make sure, because, listen, I got fiber. Okay, I got fiber. So I just want to make sure that wasn't me. So if it wasn't me, please put in the comments, Scotty, it wasn't you. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know in the comments, that it wasn't me. Okay, she froze. Okay. Thank you, Miss Griffin. I just want, because, I got fiber. Because people be quick to blame it on me, but that wasn't me. I just want to be very clear. That wasn't me. All right, I just want to make sure that wasn't me. Woo.
No, I don't know what happened.
No, you're fine. Okay, so you have been a serial entrepreneur for most of your adult life. How have you managed to be so successful for so long?
I think one of the principles that kind of have guided me throughout the years has been, no matter what I do, I always like to make sure that there's an element of social responsibility. So, insurance, you never really think about, I've done, I still have my insurance agency. I do some real estate investing. So even with all of that, I always look at opportunities to give back in whatever I do. And I really think that makes us difference, and just staying consistent. I heard someone say just a few weeks ago, you may not always be motivated, but you have to be consistent.
That's
so
good.
Consistency is definitely the key.
That's good. I like that.
Even when you don't feel like getting up and doing it.
Got to do it. Got to move forward. Okay. Now, any tips for young Black men or women looking to get into business ownership and entrepreneurship? Because that has been a kind of wave for the past 4 or 5 years. When you were doing it, I don't believe it was much of a wave or a thing, but now people are looking to be entrepreneurs and individuals and things like that to have their own. So what would you say to an up and coming, getting out of college, just like yourself? What would you say about them to getting in business ownership?
I would say one of the most important things is to have a mentor. I don't care how successful you become. There's always someone who knows more than you, and you want to find that person and attach yourself. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to have a former employer say to me, hey, I like your work ethic. I like what you're doing. What do you want to do after I retire? So I think, placing yourself in those positions to be valuable, and just being teachable, number one. And then when you're ready to take that move, it could be scary, most definitely. So it's not for the faint at heart. I would say that you have to make sure that you understand, that there are going to be some ups and downs, and you have to be willing to weather that. But start young. I have a 19-year-old son right now who, about 2 years ago in 2020, as a matter of fact, before he went off to school, he's an incoming sophomore at FAMU. And, yeah. And so, we incorporated his business in 2020. And, so it's like, okay, well, we don't know yet, we're putting together some things and trying to figure out what we're going to do. But, he's been around me, he's been around other people, and he says, I think this is what I want to do. So start young, develop a plan, and definitely surround yourself with the right mentors.
I think that's a blessing that your son has, that, a lot of other parents, because, for me, my mom, she was, she worked, went to the military and she worked. A lot of other parents that I know got jobs. So pretty much you're his mentor, what I'm saying? To see you have done it most of his life, and see where you're at successfully wise. It's like, man, if my mom can do it, if she teach me, I should be able to do the same thing. So that's a blessing for him to have somebody like you in his corner. Now let's see the holistic thing. Selling insurance to managing a football classic. That is two sides of the spectrum. How did it come about?
So in addition to the insurance agency, I also have another nonprofit that focuses on youth, after school programs, summer programs. And so all of that kind of meshed together because, again, being a mom, being around, my kids who are both, really active in sports, and then working in that industry, like within the educational system, doing after school programs, youth programs, I was around a lot of kids who were into athletics. I always knew about the Orange Blossom Classic. Of course, from my family, I was 2 when it left, but I always heard about it. I knew the history of it. And I just thought it would be something that our student athletes and our kids should be able to experience, because in South Florida, we really didn't have that HBCU football experience.
Yes, ma'am.
We got Florida Memorial, but at the time they didn't have football. So, we're like having that homecoming experience in January around basketball. So I just thought it would be really good to bring that culture and that experience to South Florida so that those kids could experience it. You know, unfortunately, the only time that they really got to see FAMU in South Florida was when, you know, they were down here playing UM. Mm-hmm. We all know how that would end, right? Back. So this was a time for them to see them literally on a level playing field.
Okay, so let's break this all the way down, right? So the idea comes to you, or does somebody pitch it to you? Because I mean, this thing is gone 40 years. You're 2 when it's gone. How does the balls fall in place for you to say, okay, this is an idea I have, then it comes about, you capitalize on it, then boom, now you're having the Orange Blossom for 2 years running?
Well, just like I said, I always knew about it, hearing about it. It was something, again, that I felt like this area was really missing. So I started doing a little bit of research. We have a historical museum down here called the Black Archives. I went over to the Black Archives. I pulled some things. They still had like some original memorabilia. And I think I really just got fascinated by the history of it. You know, understanding that the OBC came about during a time where it was the only way that we could really showcase our talent. You know, we weren't really welcomed, so to speak, at the PWI. So this was something that our people created for our people. And that really just like got me thinking, wow, you know, again, back to our kids kids need to be a part of this. They need to know about this history. And so, of course, you know, those kind of things take time. The research takes time. When you're having conversations with people, it takes time. So, you know, I didn't want to do all of that work and, you know, for nothing. So that's when I had my attorney, of course, to start looking into, you know, what that looked like, what obtaining the rights actually looked like. So
okay,
that first, and then moved into having deeper conversations with all of the stakeholders.
Wow, that's dope. Now, what is your role? Because, you know, sometimes people, you know, you have like different titles, like executive assistant and executive this, what is an executive director and what is your role when it comes to the OBC?
I guess I would say I'm responsible for setting the vision. You know, that's the main thing. What is it that we want to see? What is it, you know, and then I, from there, of course, work with my team to make it happen. So, you know, now I may give the vision and they'll say, okay, Kendra, that's great. I think we can expand on it here. I may give the vision and they say, Kendra, that's ridiculous. I don't think we're ready for this, so we can do that. But, you know, ideally, I say, this is what I want to see. You know, this is what I think we should do. And we typically begin putting it into motion. You know, of course, I have to, you know, network, obtain, you know, just making sure that all of the right stakeholders are in place, having those conversations with our local officials, conversations with sponsors, things like that. And then also, you know, of course, just day-to-day management of the team.
It's funny you brought up vision, because that actually goes into my next question. When everything comes to place, you're like, okay, we can really make this move. And then, you know, the pandemic happens, but during that process of the COVID, but during the pandemic, what was your vision, you know, combining COVID, combining OBC? What was your vision? Just to have it, just to make sure it gets put on display? Like, talk to me through that vision.
So it always starts again with our youth. The 3 things that I really wanted to focus on was, of course, the educational component, you know, bringing this back so that our kids can see the culture, making sure that they benefited from it in the areas of scholarships. So first and foremost, the vision was, how do we help students and student athletes? Our local South Florida students, as well as the students that are already a part of the universities. The next thing was, from a community perspective, our, you know, tagline is one big community, OBC, right? So that community aspect was, how could we actually bring this back? And again, going back to that social responsibility piece, how can we benefit the community as a whole? Of course, you know, there were a lot of people that were excited about the history and were excited about knowing that it was going to come back, but how can we really make a difference in that community? So, you know, we put together, we started a program last year called the Business Unite program, which helps small minority-owned businesses. About 70% of the vendors that we use are actually minority-owned businesses that are a part of our Business Unite program.
Oh, that's dope.
So, everything from tents, tables, porta potties, barricades, you name it, we try to go for, give those contracts to minority-owned businesses. Then also from a community perspective, just making sure that we're providing an economic impact. So encouraging people to stay in hotels, encouraging people, to use our local restaurants, specifically our small private restaurants. So that was the second thing, I think. So after, the education, after the community aspect, the vision was entertainment. We want to do all of that, but we want to have a good time while we're doing it. So those are really the three things that we focus on.
Is there in that vision, is there anything that people can, like, let's say, like when when you go to a game, they have a flyer to where the players and you can tell, is there a flyer that's coming out or anything on the website that can tell what Black owned businesses that, if people are in town, they can go eat at or go see at or go visit to support? She froze again. Is she using her phone? All right, Ms. Bullock, you froze again. I'm gonna have to kick you off and kick you back on. Let me see. Yep, gotta have to kick you out. Man, that's dope. I can't even lie. I didn't know, that the Orange Blossom Classic was so engraved in the community and that it was for community aspect and community outreach. That's pretty dope. I know a lot of people just focus on the game aspect of it, but I just absolutely think that's, a dope way to incorporate the Black community. It being an HBCU game, an HBCU function, Battle of the Bands, to have a Black, community outreach mixed in with the event. I think that's absolutely dope. Hopefully she can jump back in. What's up, Ms. Bullock?
I'm so sorry. Somebody just does not want me to talk to you today.
It's the powers that be. It's the powers that be. Trust me, I'm not loved by everybody, but anybody. But
I can't imagine that.
So my question to double back. My question is, I'm sorry. My question is there a list of Black owned businesses or restaurants, that the Orange Blossom Classic puts out so people can go support and go check those out?
Yes, absolutely. So we will, closer to the game, update our minority-owned business directory. And we have everything in that directory from, like I said, the vendors that we use to produce the game to barbershops, beauty salons, caterers. If you're in town and you're throwing your own party and you want, catering, you name it, it's a part of that directory. So yeah, we'll have that out closer to the game sometime in August.
Let's go. Listen, so I got all the social media for the Orange Blossom Classic in the description below. Make sure you're already following so you can get the updates or whatever they have to push out and things like that. So no excuses of why you're not here, because Black people be sometimes. I ain't never got it. I didn't get it. I ain't no. Go follow. All right. So how hard? What were some of the mistakes you feel you and the committee made the first year? Because that first year, it's a lot of kinks and bumps and bruises. So what do you feel like you guys made a mistake on that you like, man, if I would have had it back, I would have done it differently?
So I know we made mistakes. You cannot do something of this size for the first time and not make mistakes.
Facts.
I can't really think of any, I would say, like right offhand. What I will say that I know we had to do differently, what I called it last year was one of my administrators and I, we were saying, like, we were kind of building the plane as we were taking off, because we really didn't have a blueprint. So year two, now we have a blueprint. So we were able to go back and say, okay, I think we'll be able to expand on this. Some things you just don't have time to do, especially given the fact that we were dealing with COVID. So there are certain things that we didn't have time to do, like great ideas that we had that we couldn't implement. I think also, which was kind of a benefit now looking at it, because we're such a small group, honestly, producing this level of event, everybody kind of had to get their hands into everybody's job. So, you might have been in ancillary events and then you had to jump over here in game day operations and, and vice versa. So it worked out well because there was a cross training thing going on at the same time, so now we have individuals that have learned a lot. So I would just say, if anything, not necessarily a mistake, but just being able to now expand on some of the things that we wanted to do, and then bringing in more people this year to kind of segregate duties, because we were just kind of like all on top of each other.
Okay. As my colleague in the comments says, improvements. It's all improvements.
Yes.
All right. Now, a year of planning, not COVID, not the topic as it once was. What are your expectations for this game and the week for the event?
Well, first of all, I want to see more people. We were very fortunate to have over 30,000 in attendance. But of course, you always want to see the event grow. So now that, as they say, we're back outside, I expect more people in Hard Rock. Expectations definitely, as always, are to increase our scholarship dollars. So, we did really well last year with what we were able to give the schools and scholarship funding, but we want to make sure that we expand on that. So those are the two expectations I would say I'd have: attendance and increasing scholarship funds, and everybody just having a good time.
Listen, I was there. Okay. I was at the OBC. I absolutely loved it. It was a great environment, great venue. It was dope. So I'm definitely going back for round 2. Now, this has been a big discussion in a lot of groups. Will the OBC ever be open to changing the teams up? Because I know you heard a little bias with the fam, you know what I'm saying? And it's a South Florida event. So I understand they should be a lock, but Jackson State, Southern, I've heard, Tennessee State with Eddie George. So is that a possibility of the OBC ever expanding to other teams?
It's possible. It's possible. FAMU is the Orange Blossom Classic, right? So Jackson State, they have been great. I have been fortunate on both sides to have 2 wonderful athletic departments that I've had the pleasure of working with. So, I'm happy. They're happy, which is why they're coming back. So, who knows what the future holds. But right now, I will say this is a great rivalry. We all have a great working relationship. So you guys will just have to kind of, wait and see. But right now, we're just going to enjoy the FAMU and JSU rivalry.
Listen, and it's enjoyed. Oh, it's enjoyed. Trust me, it is enjoyed. All right. Now, what are some other activities scheduled for the OBC week? I have a quick brought up from your website. You have on the 1st, you have the golf tournament, the career sports fair on the 2nd, the Battle of the Bands, Orange Blossom Classic Fan Day Fest. Talk to us a little bit about some of these events coming up during that week.
All right, so on Thursday, as you guys see here, we've got the Cortez Bryant Foundation Golf Tournament. I'm sure you guys know Cortez, JSU alum, huge supporter of Jackson State University. So in partnership with his foundation, we'll be again raising scholarship dollars for both of the universities. We've got our Careers in Sports and Entertainment Symposium on Friday. Friday is that day that we kind of allow our kids, our student athletes, to enjoy some of the programming that we put together. We always kind of like to make this a bowl game experience for them. So they'll get to enjoy the Careers in Sports Symposium. They'll get to enjoy the career fair. And then we have promised the coaches that we will let the teams shut it down after Friday and prepare for Sunday. We'll move into the welcome reception and kickoff luncheon that we just announced last week that we have Lettucey, who will be opening up that luncheon for us with a special performance. So that's going to be great. You've got to get your tickets for that. We have a wonderful keynote, and we are honoring FAMU and JSU alum. So we'll be honoring Miss Diane Williams. We'll be honoring I think Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. So quite a few of our JSU and FAMU alum at that luncheon, along with Lettucey performing. Tickets are on sale for that on our website. You cannot have the classic weekend without having the Battle of the Bands, right? So that is going to be great. So you've got the Sonic Boom and the Marching 100. That's going to be at the Watsco Center in Coral Gables. So tickets, again, are on sale for that. You can go to our website for those tickets. And then we have some high school bands performing there as well. That's Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday, we're getting ready for our big fan fest. We'll have a really nice sound stage with entertainment there. So make sure you get to the game early. Get there a couple hours before so that you can enjoy our fan fest and enjoy our vendors. And then we'll be ready to go into the stadium for kickoff at 3 p.m.
Man, this is nice. Like, listen, if you didn't break this down with the lettuce, because me and my girl, we was coming in on Friday. I might have to push that up.
Listen.
Listen.
The luncheon. So last year we had Anthony Hamilton who performed at the luncheon.
Not Charlene. That's my boy. Come on.
Yes. So the luncheon, I think, was, just as exciting as the rest of the events. So somebody told me last year, they were like, well, who are you guys going to get this year? Because they were like, we saw so many, people. I think June's Diary performed at the opening of the game. So they were like, short of Jesus, I don't know who else you guys could bring. So, we've got, I think we had, so Cortez, of course, and Will Packer, every who I think as far as FAMU and JSU alum were there. So you guys never know who you're going to see. Never know who you're gonna see.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, Miss Kendra being nice, but you better get your tickets, okay? And the website is in the description below. I'm not letting no black people get off the hook today, okay? You ain't even gotta leave the stream. Just go in the description, click on it, open a new tab, buy your tickets, come back, and we still going, okay? It's just that easy. It is just that easy. That is a nice lineup. Hey, Cortez, I know you know me. Give me an invite to the golf, man. I got my own clubs and everything. You don't even got to worry about me. I'm good. Come on, man. Don't do me like that. So, how did you get Denny's get involved as a sponsor? I love Denny's. That cinnamon pancakes. Oh my gosh. But how did you get?
And I need everybody eating Denny's so that Denny's can continue to sponsor. So if you want to start to love Denny's, right? Go get your Grand Slam. Go get everything that Denny's has to offer.
Absolutely. Listen, they have these cinnamon roll pancakes. Listen, I'm telling you. Cinnamon roll pancakes will take you to heaven and bring you back. You think I'm playing. But go ahead, Ms. Bullock. How did Denny's get involved as a sponsor?
So I have an excellent sales team, number one. So again, I set the vision and we have an excellent group of people that go out and execute. But with Denny's coming on board, it was a wonderful thing with all of our sponsors, but especially Denny's, who was excited about the title position. When you brought something back after 40 years and you're doing it in the midst of COVID, you're taking a chance. You're taking a chance just on the fact that not only are we in a pandemic, but this is a virtually new event. But Denny's, again, selling that vision, letting them know what it is that we wanted to do as it related to scholarships, as it related to, supporting our universities and our community. They just jumped on board. They said, we love it. This is something that, one of the things I really liked was that they said that they wanted to be a part of the journey. So that's big, understanding that, okay, this is new, we're kind of getting our feet wet together. But they were right there from day one. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. And listen, guys, support those who support us. Go get your grants. Stop going to IHOP. All right. Come on. Don't do IHOP no more. Okay.
That's right.
Directly to Denny's. Right. Don't pass. No, don't collect $200. Go directly to Denny's.
Go to Denny's. Yes.
Now this is going to be a little, what challenges have come along with you being a woman in a leadership role? Because, my mom is a captain at her site, and I know she goes through a lot of things, and I have a lot of powerful black women in my family, and they always tell me stories about some things. So you being the executive director, what are some of those challenges and hurdles that you had to face while being, such a predominant face for this?
Well, I think first of all, getting people to know to just understand that you actually know what you're talking about, especially when you're dealing with sports, right?
No,
yeah, so that's the first thing. But one of the things, and you're going to run into, people who think because you're a woman, your place is someplace other than in a leadership role. But that kind of stuff fuels me. I thrive on that. So because I have most of my team are actually women. So we make it a point to say, whenever we walk into a place, we're going to be prepared, so you've got to do your homework. You have to know what you're talking about, and you have to be confident in what you're talking about. And, of course, it comes with challenges. Again, sometimes you're judged before you even open your mouth, and then, once you open your mouth, they're like, oh, okay, well, she might actually know a little something.
Right.
So that I think is the biggest challenge, just getting people to take you seriously, especially in the sports industry, and just saying that, yeah, she might actually know a little something about what she's doing. And then, this year our theme also is just kind of celebrating the year of the woman. We're putting an emphasis on women who are in these non-traditional careers. This year marks the 50th anniversary of Title IX. And, that did a lot for women in the sports industry and just women in unconventional careers.
Yes, ma'am.
As a whole. So we're celebrating that. So it's not just me, throughout the weekend this year, throughout the weeks leading up to OBC, we'll be celebrating women. We have on July 8th a Women in Leadership Conference coming up that will highlight some of our sponsors, some of the women in leadership who are a part of our sponsors. It's presented by Bacardi, who's one of our spirit sponsors. So we'll have some of their guests that will be some of their employees that'll be speaking. We have Dr. Heavenly, who's a FAMU alum. We have Rashawn Ali, another FAMU alum. Who will be speaking at that event. And that whole day on July 8th is geared towards celebrating women. So from that day through the week of the game, we're going to do something to highlight women who are in leadership and who are making a difference. And the whole point behind that is to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX.
I think she froze again. She did, but we gonna keep pushing. We gonna keep pushing through this interview. I'm loving this. I am loving it. We gonna keep pushing through this interview. All right. So stay locked in. Listen, she gonna pop right back on, and we gonna get right back into it. It's nothing. We back like we never left. That's how we doing it out here. Cause listen, I'm loving this. Man, Miss Bullock out here preaching today. Shoot, we in here. So miss me with that. I'm a happily sit and wait for her to pop back in. And also, listen, everything you need for the OBC is in the description below. The website, okay? The IG, the Twitter, the tickets. I got a link to go buy the tickets directly from Ticketmaster, okay? There is no excuse why you can't get any of the information that Ms. Bullock is talking to you about today. I got all the links, okay? The direct line access to Ticketmaster. Are we back like we never left, Miss Bullock? We ain't even tripping off that. We back like we never left.
Thank you.
It's too easy. Now, real quick question from the comments. He said, are there any internship opportunities for college students or chances to learn at the event?
Absolutely. Yes. So we actually have an assistantship program. You can email info@orangeblossomclassic.com and request, just attach your resume and request information on our assistantship program.
Okay. Hey, so if you missed that, info at you said orangeblossomclassic.com?
Yes.
All right. Info at orangeblossomclassic.com. Listen, if you have a son, daughter that is looking for an internship, this is big. This is huge. All right. This is a great resume builder. Great resume. So let's get into it. Entrepreneurship, motherhood, executive director. How do you balance it all?
So, like I said, Bacardi is one of our biggest sponsors.
Packages every other month.
Right. No. So, I got into entrepreneurship because of my oldest son. I have two sons, but my oldest one was born in 2002. I became a full-time entrepreneur in 2003. So before that, it was kind of like part-time. I was just kind of, dibbling, dabbling. But then I realized that I always wanted that flexibility. If I was, as a mother, I didn't want to have to ask anybody if I could take the day off to take my son to the doctor. I didn't want to ask anybody if I could, have time off to chaperone the field trip. So that kind of like fueled me to make sure that I stayed on this path. They both, saw me do it for many years. So they understood that even though mommy had flexibility, she still had a lot of work to do. So, as an entrepreneur, you work harder for yourself than you do other people. So you really don't get to work that 9 to 5, but you get to choose when you want to work those hours. So they understood the trade-offs. If mommy goes to chaperone the field trip today, that means she may have to be at the office from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. You know, so thank God for the village when it came to that. But it allowed me the opportunity to be there for them. And just anyone who knows me knows that I do balance it. But when they call, everything stops. You know, like that's the beauty of having people who are really capable around you of doing certain, you know, just to do certain things. I received an award a couple of months ago, and I had a friend of mine to introduce me. And the first thing she said was if her son had a basketball game tonight, she wouldn't be here. So, you know, that's just, and I'm like, she's absolutely right. You know, we would have probably just done a video and accepted it, you know, virtually, but that's just, that's what it's about, being there for them first, and then everything else that I do is because of them. So we balance it.
Shout out to you. Shout out to all the mothers out there and women pushing through and doing it. All right. Now, how special is it to you to be from the Miami-Dade area and bringing such a positive experience back to the city? Because I do believe your mom was a teacher in the Miami-Dade arena. So how, I mean, like, it's like a full circle, like thing, you know what I'm saying? So how does that feel for you? Oh,
I love it. Like I said, you know, one of our 3 pillars is community. So, you know, last year we had our big Welcome to the 305 concert, you know, so I remember during the concert, I was standing on the stage and Luke was performing, and I'm looking out like, wow, we were at Bayfront Park, which is like, you can see the Miami skyline. And I'm just standing there, like taking it all in, you know, like, wow, we did this, you know, this is for this community. So to have, you know, all of our Miami artists, you know, on stage to do it, you know, right there, like I said, where the Miami skyline is, and then to, you know, come into Hard Rock Stadium with FAMU, it was just, it was surreal. So just knowing that this event last year, again, in the midst of a pandemic, we saw in this community a $12 million economic impact.
Oh.
So again, shout out to everyone who purchased tickets and who, you know, used hotels and Airbnbs. You know, you're giving back to the community and you're giving back to businesses while having a good time. So thank you to everyone who, of course, supports us. But that's big. That is what we want this game to do. We want it to help our HBCUs, our students, our student athletes, and our community.
All right, we got a couple more questions. We're going to roll down to the end, Ms. Bulluck. Anything people need to know about the OBC that they don't know already?
Well, that they don't know.
Right, like you like a lot of people like you like like the lettucey, like I didn't know lettuce, you know, something like that. Something just like be on the lookout for this, or we might have that, or something like that.
Well, we're still planning, and we've got a lot of stuff that's taking place right now. So I would just say stay on top of all of our social media, stay on top of our website, because we're adding things daily. So, you know, you never know, like I said, what kind of surprises we may come up with. But I would say, you know, all of the information can definitely be found on our website. I think for the most part, we've gone through, you know, all of our events for the weekend. So, but just keep with the website and our social media. You never know what surprises you might get.
Okay, listen.
We will be doing ticket giveaways and all of those things. So yeah, stay tuned for all.
Hey, listen, you know, if you want to throw your boy some tickets, I can give away. You know, I am.
You gotta register. You gotta register for the sweepstakes when they come up.
Oh, okay.
I can't do that.
No, what I'm saying is like you give me tickets so I can give away to people on the channel.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah. I got my tickets, so I'm good. I got my tickets.
Okay.
I don't play no games like that. All right. So this next section is called This or That. I'm gonna give you 2 options. You give me your favorite, okay?
Okay.
All right. City or country?
Country. Okay.
Text message or call?
Text.
All right. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Oh, man.
I have both. I keep both.
No green bubbles out here. Ain't no green bubbles.
I keep both, but I primarily use my Apple.
Okay. Football or insurance?
Football.
Okay. All right,
I'm a
now,
mother of two boys. I can't help it.
okay. Now this one, this you got to focus in on this one. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince. Sorry, Prince.
What are we doing? What?
I'm sorry. No, listen. You play some Purple Rain, and I'm sorry, and party like it's 1999, and When Doves Cry.
Come on now, Off the Wall. Remember the time? What are we talking about?
I'm sorry. No, give me Prince all day.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I know.
Zaxby's or God's Chicken?
Zaxby's.
Yeah, I just kind of got converted too. They be seasoning their chicken. They really be seasoning it, and they fries be heating.
Yes, it's dry to me. I don't know. I'm a Zaxby's person.
Oh man, you didn't get that Zaxby sponsorship. That's it.
Right.
Look at that. Now, before you go, all right, your most memorable moment while being a part of the it's supposed to be OBC, not ONC, but about the OBC committee.
Last year during halftime. Last year, as the band was coming out, right before halftime started, we had a group of kids that ran out onto the field to watch the halftime show up close and personal. And when I saw the kids standing on the sideline, saw how excited they were as the band was, lining up, I thought that was the most beautiful thing. I was so excited.
That's dope. It's all part of that community. Listen, Ms. Bulluck, I appreciate your time. This is your time. Shout outs, anything you want to tell people to, you want to lead people with or anything like that, the floor is all yours.
Yes. First of all, thank you to the Orange Blossom Classic Committee, to my wonderful staff. Thank you to everybody who works with me on a daily basis to make this happen. Thank you to all of our fans, to all of our sponsors, everyone who supports the OBC. And if you have not gotten your tickets and your hotels, please do it now. This is going to be the place to be Labor Day weekend.
Absolutely. Now, are there any package deals? Because I know you guys are, I think last year I saw a lot of y'all were notorious for some package deals for hotels and ticket prices or anything. Are there any package deals or on the website or anything like that?
So we don't have any ticket and hotel or travel packages, but we do have discount codes for hotels. So Definitely book your hotels through our preferred hotel partners that are on our website. It's a travel link on the website to get the best hotel rates. And hotels are being added daily to that link. So check back if it's a hotel maybe that you don't see or something like that. But yeah, that I would say Labor Day, Miami, go to that link for your hotels.
Listen,
before I in those rates.
Listen. She's not playing with these no prices. Listen, I ordered my stuff late last year. You talking about like $250, $300 a night. Like, please go get your stuff early. I'm trying to tell you. Even if you're like, you know what, I might not even go. Just lock your stuff in just so you're good to go. So that if you do decide to go, you're good with like 100, 150. Because I'm telling you, South Beach. On the day of, you don't want them prices. You want the prices. But thank you so much, Ms. Bulluck. I appreciate your time. Tell your committee I said what's up, and we appreciate your time.
I will. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all, listen. That was Miss Kendra Bulluck, OBC Executive Director, letting y'all know all the ins and outs of the OBC. Okay, listen. You got your question asked and answered. FAMU is a staple, so there might not be a new team coming down the pipe, but hey, listen, as long as Jackson State and FAMU are playing, Bama's are still going to be in attendance, okay? But listen, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. What was I about to say? I might do an afterglow show for a recap tomorrow. I'm going to talk to Kofi, see if we can make that happen and have a quick little afterglow show on a recap of what we talked about today and just some things down the pipe. But guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe. All right. And I keep trying to tell y'all, all right, interview me and live show me are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay. So everybody who's scared to get an interview with me, I'm not going to beat you over the head. I'm going to just be professional. Okay. But catch me on a live show, something totally different. But that's what it's called off script for. But listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.